What's up, guys? This is Eric and Yooni from Byked Entertainment. We're here for another very exciting post-watch. We're back for the Mandalorian, episode 2. Pete watched it with us too, but he's lame. Nah, whatever.
I really hope the mic got that.
I hope so too. Gross.
Oh my.
Anyway, so yeah, we just finished up watching episode 2. We're gonna get into our thoughts. Also, FYI, we're trying a little bit of a different setup. Usually we have the microphones out of shot. This time we're just gonna try them in and do the podcast style.
Ooh, fancy.
I hope you like it. Anyway, so Mandalorian, episode 2. Thoughts, Yooni?
It's a lot more fast-paced. Of course, that can be a bit of a mixed bag depending on how you like it, but for a Western like this, I'd say this definitely fits better. And Baby Yoda is still the cutest thing ever.
Absolutely. You should have seen Pete while he was watching this. He was literally like, ah!
How long till Build a Bear makes a version of that?
They probably knew about it months ago and didn't tell us, and they're probably gonna have it by Christmas.
Yeah, I believe it.
Word.
I mean, other stuff we'll discuss later, but that's like if you want, that's like a 2 sentences.
Yeah. Overall, my opinion, very good. Very good. Pacing, I definitely think it was faster than the first one.
Oh, yeah.
But overall, I still think it's a little bit of a slow burn compared to other, like, shows and other forms of Star Wars, at least. But as I was watching this, I kind of realized something, especially because I watched it twice today, again.
Surprising no one.
Yeah. And I was talking to my brother about it, and he was giving, or when I was talking to him, I was telling him that the way it's being all played out, because the first one was very, slow pace, or at least the beginning was for me. And this one, definitely faster, but there's not a lot that happens when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, all that really happens, spoiler if you haven't watched it, by the way, but then again, why are you watching this? But all that happens really is, you meet the child in the first episode, and then you're going back to the ship, and then their ship parts are missing because Jawas freaking steal the stuff.
Yeah.
So all they're doing is getting the stuff back so they can fly away. And at first I was like, that was it? But then I started realizing this as I was talking to my brother. The way they're doing The Mandalorian so far is kind of like a book more than a TV series.
No,
it's like not a comic book, but it's a visual book, like a visual novel.
Yeah, it's like I said this I think in the previous episode post watch, but the first episode is the prologue of when you like first open it, and this is chapter 1.
Yes. Yeah, very much, because that's when you meet the character for the first time. This is who we're introduced to, the character of the whole book. Chapter 2, which literally the title, they show the title being chapter 2, the child. So it makes sense in the context of it being a novel, because if it's just chapter 2, the child, this chapter literally was about Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Because, you get introduced to him at the end of the first chapter.
And he's force sensitive.
Yeah, spoiler if you didn't realize that by now.
Is it like are Yoda species like airbenders where everybody can use the force?
Maybe. But I'm wondering, like, is it the species or is it something else on why they're force sensitive?
Midichlorians.
Could be. It's probably a species thing because Yoda and Yaddle are hardcore Jedis. They're not going to go and, have babies willy-nilly. Unless they became Jedi lovers. I think that's within legal range. I'm not quite sure, though.
I don't know. Ever since Disney took over, whatever the old canon, like, established is confusing on whether it's canon or not.
Yeah.
Because, like, again, as I said in the previous Bike Watch, I really like the Mandalorian side of Star Wars, and if you like the old canon, pretty much everything that has to do with the clone troopers is all integrated into the old, canon.
Yes.
Even Captain Rex's, eye decoration things on his helmet, that's a Mandalorian tradition.
Yes.
Which the new canon hasn't, established yet, but the point being, yeah, it's confusing, and we'll have to just wait and see.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, this episode was really interesting. You learn about Baby Yoda actually being a force sensitive, which makes sense so far.
Yeah.
I'm just curious on where it's going to go from here, especially because there was a bounty on this baby for a reason. And I was actually talking to a coworker today about this episode, and there's something he read online relating to that, because we already know that, who put the bounty, like who the client is related to the Empire.
Rip Death Star.
But he was talking about the fact that, he's a scientist. They're looking for the baby. The baby is Force sensitive, so they're obviously taking advantage of that. The question is, why are they taking advantage of that? Other than the fact that, try to obliterate the Jedi.
Are you thinking it's like Force Unleashed 2? They're just trying to clone Force sensitive soldiers?
I was thinking of it more in terms of Dark Empire, but yes.
Cloning?
Or not necessarily cloning of Yoda. Finding a Force sensitive little child.
For Palpatine to take over?
For Palpatine to, infuse that power so that it can be generated into a clone body.
Oh, okay.
Something about that.
I actually haven't read, a lot. For the old canon, I haven't actually read a lot of the stuff that happened after Episode 6, which is why I wasn't that familiar with Dark Empire. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why. Again, I read Karen Travis's Republic Commando novels and pretty much everything that has to do with Knights of the Old Republic.
But yeah, so it kind of is an interesting theory. I don't know for sure. I won't be surprised, obviously, if they, take elements from Dark Empire. In fact, I would be okay with that, because that series when I was younger, awesome.
I also got the feeling this was supposed to be Jon Favreau's story Star Wars film before they turned it into a show.
Maybe. It could have been Boba Fett before they canned it.
I honestly get the feeling, like I said, it feels like a Clint Eastwood Western film.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it's very much harping on the Western feel more than the space opera feel.
I honestly am willing to bet if they didn't cast Pedro Pascal, just because it's his son, I'm willing to bet they would have gotten Scott Eastwood. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of Westerns, so I haven't, other than the couple of Clint Eastwood movies I saw, but that almost hopeless despondentness is definitely a classic Clint Eastwood Western vibe. So that's why I think it was supposed to be Favreau's film before it got turned into this.
Yeah, it could have been, because ultimately, this is the kind of show where not only does it feel more like a novel than a traditional or typical TV series. This is definitely something where it doesn't feel like it should be released weekly. This seems like something you want to watch back to back.
Yeah.
So once all 8 episodes are released and you go back and binge watch all 8 in a row, things will definitely start feeling more cohesive, in my opinion.
But also, again, while I agree with that, logistically, Disney Plus likely couldn't do it because they don't have really anything original on the platform right now. Or at least something that would immediately grab somebody's attention.
That's true.
Yeah. So, what's to stop somebody from binging Mandalorian then immediately just canceling their free trial?
That's also true.
Yeah,
but I mean, at the same time, it is Disney Plus, and there's a lot of Disney content that's on there.
Yeah, pretty much everything they've made under the sun, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was gonna say half the lineup they have for their Disney Channel platform is I've seen pretty much all of these.
Yeah. So the fact that it's all in one place and anything Disney that comes new will just be added to that. Yeah. So I think people wouldn't cancel right away. Yeah. Plus, if you do what we're doing, the yearly plan and sharing it with people, it makes it pretty affordable in my opinion.
Another thing I wanted to point out about the show or this episode was the Pedro Pascal's acting, because again, if you can't show your face but still get character across, props.
Yeah, really.
Especially the part where he screws up his Jawa speak. That adds a lot of character.
Yeah, it shows that he is imperfect, even though he's supposed to be the best in the parsec.
Yeah, I think they got the definition of parsec wrong, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it in the terms of it being a distance, I suppose it works. But
well, no, it is a unit of distance.
It's a unit of distance.
And they corrected that in Solo, the fact that it's measured in distance, not time.
Yeah, I'm still convinced Nick Nolte wasn't supposed to be in this. He just wandered on set one day, and they just couldn't bring it in themselves to say no.
Yeah, Jon Favreau was just like, "Hey, Nick Nolte, you're in this. I have spoken."
Although on the book thing, now that you mentioned it, if you look back at Favreau's films, he actually directs a lot of his films like that.
As books?
If you think about it.
Okay.
maybe it's just me, but the way he directed the Lion King remake, if you think about it.
Yes, but at the same time, I wouldn't use that as an example because Lion King was also very much a shot-for-shot remake. So Lion King in general was just a book.
Yeah.
I think a better example in terms of Jon Favreau,
yeah.
when you think of book, think of Elf, because he directed that movie. And even though it wasn't like necessarily by chapter, because like the way that he has it is basically just, it is the story of Elf. Open the book. First thing is, he's a baby.
Bye, buddy.
Yeah. So yeah, even though I would say this is more traditional, like novelization, like chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Elf, not so much that, even though it is still in the style of a book.
Yeah. One thing I also want to point out is we still haven't seen a good amount of the other characters we've seen throughout the trailers. Gina Carano, Ming-Na Wen.
I have to check online because they say who directed what episode.
Yeah.
And I think Bryce Dallas Howard only directed one episode.
Oh, she directed?
Yes.
She's not.
She's one of the 5 or 6 directors.
Okay. She's not appearing on Face though, right? Okay.
Not as far as I know. But one thing I learned watching a Q&A is that Gina Carano's character is in the episode that Bryce Dallas Howard directed.
Okay.
So that could be episode 3 or 4. Yeah. I don't know for sure. Might be 5. Yeah. I have to look again, but
because like again with using the book metaphor / I guess perspective, we're reaching the midway event. Like this is the
turning point.
Yeah, we're reaching the turning point, and the good amount of characters we were promised has still not been shown.
It depends on what is the actual turning point.
Yeah, I only say
we're also only 2 episodes in.
Yeah,
and there's 8 episodes, so we're not quite halfway there.
Yeah,
but episode 3 could still be a turning point, and then we see where it takes. But that's a lot of filler. Then again, it depends. Maybe they'll do a lot of TV shows do where one is just a break from the main action and do something completely random, like a random adventure. It's completely possible.
Maybe that's probably Taika's episodes.
Taika Waititi's episode, I think, is the last episode.
That he only directed one?
Yes.
Okay. I am curious how, given his usual way of doing things, I'd be surprised how he directs this. But
yeah, if I recall correctly, the directors, there were Dave.
Okay.
Deborah Chow.
Okay.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Okay.
Taika Waititi. And then the guy who just directed this episode.
Rick Famuyiwa.
Yep.
Who did Dope, which I've been told is a fantastic film. I haven't been able to see it.
Yeah. From what I remember is that Rick, Deborah, and Dave.
Okay.
They each have 2 episodes.
So that's 6. So Bryce directed 1.
Bryce directed 1 and Taika Waititi directed the other. Okay. So that's 8. And that's how many episodes we're getting this season.
Okay. I don't recall Bryce Dallas Howard having directing under her belt, though.
She's always wanted to do that because, she is the daughter of Ron Howard, of course.
Yeah. I'm not saying, like, I'm against it. It was just like I didn't expect it.
And it makes sense because given Ron Howard's relation to George Lucas, because American Graffiti, George gave Ron the opportunity to start directing in the first place with Willow.
Right.
And then since then he's grown, and they've been great friends like since they started working together. So very close familially. So it makes sense for Bryce to get involved at some point.
Although one last thing I want to point out, this guy here apparently doesn't know what the Force is, which I mean,
or he probably knows what Jedi and the Force are. He just doesn't understand how this kid's powerful. So he's probably aware of it. He's just not thinking of it in this moment because I'm trying to. As you see in this episode, he don't give any fuck. He disintegrates people. He freaking disintegrates Jawas.
Yeah,
he tries to beat the shit out of them. By the way, those Jawas, they're tough.
Yeah,
they're tough.
He would never get hired by Vader. Remember, no disintegrations.
Too late.
And I'm trying to think of mostly in the context of the original trilogy, and I'm trying to. It's in episode 4, right, where one of the Moffs is like, your faith in the old religion,
your sad devotion to that ancient religion, has yet to conjure up those stolen data tapes.
Yeah, so
something like that.
So yeah, from that perspective, so the Force is, for all intents and purposes, let's say Christianity.
Okay.
So like that's like kind of like saying somebody in that universe saying, oh God, but like doesn't know the actual concept of a God. So it just kind of seems weird to me. I mean, again, like you said, it could be like he just knows what the Force is, but hasn't seen it in action before.
Yeah, I mean, some will know, and then some will just forget.
Yeah.
and make it seem like they don't know.
Another thing like with that is, well, again, this is apparently the part that the new Disney canon kept. The Mandalorians have not been very kind with the Jedi for years, so he would know at least what a Jedi can do with the Force, just by a history book. So I mean, I guess I
think for him, it's just like, he's not used to, one, there being a baby that's 50 years old.
Okay, that's fair.
He wasn't expecting that at all.
And two,
the fact that it's any kind of powered, like Force sensitive wise, like not even just Force, just power in general. Like, what is this?
But that also makes me curious on how old this guy actually is then, because like
this guy,
like if we base him on Pedro Pascal's actual age, which I think is like what,
given the context of what we know from the first episode plus what we've seen in trailers,
I'm gonna look up.
He was alive during the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
he was a kid though. Because those flashbacks you see in the trailer, at least, there's battle droids in the background, I think.
I'm just using his real age just as a quote-unquote reference, even though he's a beautiful man and looks way younger than he actually is.
That is true.
He's 44, so this is what, 5 years after episode 6?
Yes, so that's like 8 ABY, whatever the thing is called.
Yeah, he would have been roughly...
It would have been 30...
Yeah, he would have been like 20 or like 30, 25, 30-ish by the Clone Wars.
Well, episode 4 is 20 years after episode 3.
Like a 5-year-old then. Assumingly.
He could also just be 35 in it, even though he's played by a 44-year-old.
Yeah.
Age is but a number when it comes to acting.
Mm-hmm. Although that does make it more curious then. Was he alive during the invasion of Mandalore?
That could be what that is. Like what that flashback is.
The battle droids, yeah.
Yeah.
Although, from what I understand, the invasion was literally the Republic, Ahsoka, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and the 501st against whatever Mandalorian sided with Maul, considering the Separatists didn't have an idea that he was alive.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
That could explain his distaste for, killing young kids, considering he had to witness clones turning on Ahsoka, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm reading mostly into like subtext here, but the fact that Mandalore was invaded again by a Jedi would probably not go well for their elders or their culture.
Mm-hmm.
He could be just in denial about the Force. Could it like that?
That's always possible.
Like that old meme. Ah, shit! Here we go again. That'd be great if that was the case, though.
That would be interesting.
Anything you got to say about the effects, though? Because I know that's your area of expertise.
Effects have been great. I think there was like 1 or 2 shots where it kind of looked a little bit odd in the depth of field, making me feel like it's either a green screen or a backdrop.
Which part?
I don't remember exactly, but it was like a medium wide shot of the Mandalorian, and it's like you can see some outlines around his helmet. Again, not bad by any means. But me working in that industry, you tend to notice things.
And also, I mean, again, what little I know of VFX is because I'm learning right now. He helps a bit, and Corridor Digital's VFX artist reacts. So,
yeah,
shout out to you guys, by the way. Do you think that glare probably wasn't added in, right? Considering his helmet was probably an actual prop, right?
Which glare are you talking about?
Like when he just entered, like he's about to enter the cave, and then tightens his armor.
Oh, before he enters the cave.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible that it was real, and then they enhance it.
Okay.
It depends on if they took into account what time of day they were shooting.
Okay. It seems
because they take advantage of the kind of technology apps these days where you can see where the sun's gonna be at what time of day. So it could have been like the sun's gonna be in this spot at 3 p.m. Let's get that shot because, bam.
Yeah, it was a cool shot, but something about that glare did seem a bit off.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
Yeah,
I think the thing for me is like, I remember seeing that shot as an epic shot in the trailer. And not that it wasn't an epic shot, but just where it was in context of the show was interesting. I was expecting it to be like in a battle, not so much entering a cave. But it was still nice.
Oh, yeah. But that's all I got.
Yeah. For me, the big takeaways with this are, feels like a novel, which I'm okay with.
Mm-hmm.
Baby Yoda is still adorable
and
very powerful.
Just like the most famous member of his species.
Mm-hmm. Also, Jawas are more fierce than we thought.
Maybe Palpatine originally tried to look more for Yoda's species to achieve the closest thing to immortality, which is living as long as Master Yoda does. Remember, he died at age 900, so...
That's also possible, but I think it's more of the power because the 50-year-old baby was pretty damn powerful for being able to lift that creature.
Imagine what Master Yoda could have done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's more of a power thing than age eternal. But I think the age eternal thing has a play into that because, as we talked about with the cloning thing, in Dark Empire, the idea is just keep cloning yourself. Like, move your spirit to the next clone body until you can't.
Yeah.
Even though for Palpatine, the idea is never going to end. Just keep cloning. Just keep cloning.
Right. Forgot how crazy that was.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Overall, great episode. Slow burn still. But it's okay. Because I'm still curious on where this is going to go. Especially because I want to know why Baby Yoda here is still that important. We have a pretty good idea already.
Or how he specifically. Yeah, or how he ended up by himself, no less, in the middle
That's also true.
In the middle of what looks like Tatooine.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Tune in next Friday. So, see you guys.
Later.
Like and subscribe.
Hit that like button.
I said like. I can't work with this kid.